coordinate here, right?
Oh, that's not racist, man.
Don't have a bit now.
If someone was cutting a white film critic in debate, oh,
yeah, I wasn't really able to locate more outlets.
there's
than that
one
one.
behind you.
There's an outlet behind me.
I don't know if you should move that, Jonas.
I was just, no, I was just, it's right there.
Just
Tilt.
Do you want to come sit over here?
Oh, you see that chair right in front of you?
You make it like this over here.
Let's just stretch yourself.
Okay, it's on right.
Yeah.
Just firing all the First, government must be practical, cannot concern itself with beneficial questions. Its only goal is to protect citizens' interests. Law number 5. Political philosophy is practical for its action. Must consider the contribution of organization. Political experience by time institute by what multitude or regulated political actions are. The whole body political system the rules for others subject to free person representative and judicial therefore justification. 2 impacts. A. Government actions will undoubtedly lead to trade-offs between citizens and benefits common harm others. The only justified way to resolve these conflicts is by benefiting the maximum possible number of people. Since anything else will not credit one group of another. This also proves science trade theories are used for state ethically violence and trading. Utopia fails not possible. One of those 4 theories prevent any action worse or worse not be able to use utopia. People psychological for utopia governments are obligated to use it. Genome et al. 8. The studies provide strong evidence how effects of people just the behavior people to see the decision in different life. People see an appropriate life decision outcome determine decision quality. This interstandardized to prove detail is not kind of true to hard to calculate since both people already believe in it. Second, no acquisition distinctive for states. State 6. Unlike individuals, government space joined by third parties who have file for agrees permission, prohibition, will not authorize private action, not refusing action, distinct and authorized private action becomes obscure with the court, government for leave for business private action and beyond fully discouraged. Thus, the standards maximizing expected well-being. The governments of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Jordan, and Turkey should prohibit the production of nuclear power. Clause 520. The Middle East nuclear power is back in Russian state nuclear program. Russia announcing opening office. Dubai office will oversee nuclear power projects in Egypt, Jordan, and Turkey. The Middle East is home to the greatest number of nuclear newcomers in the world. The 6th country pursuing nuclear power. Eventual one is relations. Russian nuclear deals are an extension of power. Reactors economically suture host states, host countries to Russia and Germany and displace U.S. influence. Armstrong 15. Economic implication of Russia and geopolitical impacts. Russia's nuclear power extension. Local governments become sutured to the Russian government. Influence gained by Russia should not be interceded. Russia will have a president in any country assigned to the country with several years. Russian built nuclear power plants and foreign war into military bases and civil projects. Nuclear power will form an influence in country with personal regional geopolitical Western growth. So the undermining crucial allies states like Egypt, Turkey, Russian president power will provide Moscow and Intel would otherwise be more difficult. These benefits will be undergirded by leverage on virtual nation becomes a Russia for energy. Russia is well positioned to control expensive nuclear power policy and pursue broad material methods. American diplomacy in the Middle East is key to stability and Arab-Israeli peace. So we're 16. Our interest reduces anything to military, increase the importance of diplomacy, transfer America, we construct diplomacy, regional security, and protection, and able to regional army guards, and more practical American territorial final or Scottish, and we don't risk back in that interest of Russian commitment to America, but not in the Middle East. And we have 14 economic agenda, energy proliferation, human rights, extremism, refugee, leave, diplomacy to fill the gap. Preemptive is zone strikes on Europe, nuclear plants cause escalating conflicts and huge oil shocks, reared show as well. A preemptive is zone strike has the potential of decolonized pro-life regime, a strike will constant attack on Muslim state policy, not to increase escalation. By proxy, but we can create economic preemptive strike, create the long-term economic state of your global sphere, capacity of limited depend, relying on the straight form, benefit for the credit scores for block expectation, or business, and like that's gonna just affect the massive Israeli Air Force and action last week of birth in your space. Church, we can war us Israeli intrusion, violation of Turkish aircraft, the constitute aggression against native Israel intrusion, and Turkey is first for government, the peace treaty, design government, protest from other record, anti-side military action, provoking political crises, in both Israel and Saudi interests. Oil shocks with nuclear key, acknowledging spark oil, keep housing out of the U.S. Energy is indeed such general security that threats reform are reflected in Turkish threats working right now. Over energy angles worry about the readiness of the U.S. being rationally able to shock. Spread down the trust in for false prevention protection, keep driving out of the offshore American military products and energy goals to sweep across Africa, energy on Latin America, certain on West Pakistan, with nuclear weapons, purpose of process, heating, oil capacity on climate change, coal, and the economy would put in jeopardy projects and then look to for reduction in emissions, oil, control, global, peerless friction between the haves and have-nots, oil reserves, and targets to U.S. long oil will hit the U.S. and China in competition over supplies. Nuclear war uniquely likely in the Middle East overcomes terrors and causes extinction muscle die. Should it be the reason about not fact between the general relationship of our country, will likely communication from those Russian DC as a match that conflict could actually quickly escalate to regional attack if we consider using nuclear weapons would be mistakenly nuclear time we can keep nuclear weapons or being used once more stuff. Manage to is prolific. Nuclear deals with Russia fund basically further cooperation on weapons transfers and nuclear expertise guarantees prolific Byzantium at all 15. Roosevelt is already become building 4 reactors in the IQ of Russia will play people in the in addition nuclear venture counting cooperation used in Europe. Advanced weapons Russia including S-300 anti-aircraft defense systems, Saudi Arabia's level of Saudi Europe and advanced Russian system. Israel cannot cure for Europe of advanced Russian weapons system by its neighbors, so they sell entry the nuclear lease plan. Serves as a base for obtaining agreement know how to come for building nuclear weapons. The spread of nuclear power across the Middle East is primarily motivated by proliferation. No other explanation is adequate. Big 15. Iran's regional rivals having enacted their atomic ambition nuclear power beyond the almost everyone else in the world. Every consuming power in the region has announced plans to Middle Eastern country beyond Iran have nuclear power until 2012. Nuclear power is the first step of the people who have nations to have legitimate reasons for that to ensure decades while Middle East is blocking global trend rights can be run as few as 2. Middle East will cause an enormous nuclear war and increase the risk of nuclear terror deterrence doesn't check cracking the 15. A major competition is run in the region of power could provide design and staff for proxy with one side of view on losing access to its neighbor or limited use of nuclear weapons like use ensuring as part of civil war against strong high radical terrorist element used within the military against obvious proliferation. Middle East would be characterized geographically tight cluster of nuclear armed states. High futures within the absolute early warning systems and potential sacrifice nuclear false intelligence. The region would be a prime candidate for example if nuclear war the challenge not simply of maintaining assured destruction. Rosenthal reactors of particular vulnerability, infiltration, and theft, corruption, and management problems already at all 14. Many workers barely pay back our workers are showing condition I can't just say wherever they work the areas locally low. Sadly source on having widespread corruption due to the structural line transmission and accountability Rosenthal having direct with rest on suspicion of less than 50 million. Rules of the 3% awarded by the standards regarding the lives of the use of online Rosenthal corruption, uprising, good safety abroad, the scale of corruption. Safety risk corruption power the Rosenthal supporting nuclear expansion all across passages that corporation make sure ability to cheap and qualified labor. ISIS is actively seeking nuclear weapons to possess the activities they need to launch an attack. They just need to secure British House at 15. There's a risk also using nuclear materials as weapons of terror until now. Terrorist groups have lack access to make sure also to track on to reform fighters with all economic backgrounds and now to run into a secret CBR terrorists never before imagine one of the fiscal also that avails more weapons in the DLR. ISIS reputed our money through economic fundraising activities in the church. ISIS ability to assess on the use of on social and other media. ISIS actually has acquired knowledge that will not use CBR materials. Underneath representing realistic alternatives feed existing ideology right 12. Levels for using our tracking good at very down to see for person those alternatives to express the great strength reaction because drive people into great ideology we never make common proposal when do things and juggle with these things and ugly motives. Other part of ugly motives. Where is that? Do critiques jump in with ways
Pretty good?
Yeah.
What is a vague social movement?
Something that cannot be implementable by government that is not a realistic alternative.
Okay, so let's talk about the relations advantage first. Your internal evidence says that Israel will launch a preemptive strike. Where does it say that this is because the U.S. withdraws?
The server evidence says that it endangers peace treaties between Arab
countries. I'm talking about the Scheller 12 evidence. Where in the card does it say that a preemptive strike?
Yes, so the card is an impact card to preemptive strikes. It does not mention U.S. diplomacy.
Wait. So I'm saying, why is there a preemptive strike from Israel then?
So it says that there are instances in which if Israel was overly concerned by proliferation risk, they would preempt.
Wait, but there's already been nuclear weapons in the Middle East for years. Why is there not been
from what country? What country has nuclear weapons?
Iran has had a nuclear program. I'm asking
so
why
the Iran deal checks that, so that wouldn't apply.
Also, what do you mean the Iran deal check that?
The Iran deal exists, which is an institutional check at proliferation.
Wait, so you're saying an institutional check would remedy all these possible fears? Does that mean if you start a counterclaim that's an institutional check means that they won't attack each other, just because they sign an agreement, they will no longer attack each other?
No. What? So I'm confused about your question.
Yeah, my question is why there hasn't been a nuclear war in the Middle East, and there has been.
That's right.
There have been nuclear weapons in the Middle East.
That's because Iran has no nuclear weapons.
So you're saying Iran's going to get nuclear weapons because of Russian economic influence? Where in the Armstrong 15 evidence say that Russian hegemony displaces all of U.S. influence?
So obviously we are not making the claim that every single piece of U.S. influence is displaced. However, Russian bases.
This talks about military bases. Why does building nuclear plants in the Middle East equivalent to Russian military bases crowding out America?
So the evidence explicitly says Russian nuclear plants create a military presence because the Rosatom firm, when they construct a plant, each have created a permanent presence that is similar to an embassy.
Why does this mean it crowds out America?
It says that it undermines our ties with key allies like Egypt and Jordan.
That's super vague. Like, is there any warrant for why that's the case?
Yeah, sure. So when a country has closer and economic and political ties with Russia, they may perceive the U.S. as less of a key ally because they no longer require our security.
That is in the card?
Yes.
Where?
Western influence will be undermined. Russian President abroad provide Moscow intel that would otherwise be more difficult.
Okay, it just seems like it just repeats like Russian presence or American presence will be undermined. This doesn't seem to indicate a total crowd. It just says that there's possible diplomatic.
Look, you keep adding the word total crowd out. It's obviously not complete.
Okay, then how do you solve for this? How is there not American diplomacy then?
The U.S. has a
It
strong.
doesn't even say the word
presence.
like significant reduction. It's just like
Okay, obviously my card doesn't have. My card doesn't.
I'm just saying the words are very
significant
strong.
reductions.
Okay,
The next
that's not
time
the
that
ISIS card.
benefits will be
What exactly?
undermined.
What is it like? Do you advocate ISIS is going to get nuclear weapons, or that they'll make dirty bombs?
Both. So they can acquire nuclear weapons by stealing them from states that proliferate, or they can acquire fissile material.
They steal the actual warhead, or they steal the materials?
Both are possible. Okay. Taking a breath.
I'll take it. Okay, 438 left.
What's the order?
Order's going to be too obvious. A little cost slower here.
Sure.
Is everybody ready? That's right. First off, basic interpretation of the affirmative may not specify by any nuclear power in a country or group of countries that does not already have nuclear power. These violations of countries that don't currently have nuclear power that we need to see. And under some level of consideration, 20 more feet consideration that government level nuclear prospects are in Turkey, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt. Standards, one is conditionality, the one is realized that local pay the nuclear reactors might be built. This less one area should kick out advantage to that offense. The kills that use strategy, there's a single point of offense with one CDA, speaking one area completion that the half which kills under strategy, controls the trucks that can defend our ability to plan clear next strategy, dependent on single have two ground. The F is will discard ground authorized by baiting nuclear power from place that doesn't already have nuclear powers back. Interference means it's possible that in the future. This is not a thing. Generic terms and these compelling response plans to generic terms all about conversion to the assets. All their offensive advantages to your whole rest of whatever is possible to determine the very meaning. Any round received from the start. Drop the around duty. This round CA. Hold the kind of the term single accuracy frames to the drop the arc. Let's see to the layer killing that ground. Drop like the same thing. Drop the use and say things are accuracy. Just usability of the effects are judge pressure. It takes a race to the bottom rather. It takes a race to the bottom. Exploited judges tolerance for special augmentation and it already has to incentivize increased goal and innovating with these practices because substance fashion the flows be different than two common terms of one theory circle so they're able to ship these two also snaps to the last week around their shell. Next is security routine. The rooted in Western races in Nature 2K. The value inside of binary opposition Russia's also seen as instability, Asia, Asia, chaos, unpredictability, the opposite value of stability is zero. Order, within every self to contribute and any security, which means the opposition to zero. Most explode consists of any security, the opposition to the discourse of security, practice of security, security, state identity, and Middle Eastern securitization constructs to justify violent interventions and selectively reveals information to racist construct. Foreigners is fine, others in your case is right with these offensive assumptions. Your 16 card literally refers to the Middle Eastern countries like Iran as American enemies in the unlike more rigor and show its 12 card makes the basis thing that Iran is slanging ways to attack, and Israel is slanging ways to attack Iran, million to 5. For like countries approach to regional security, overseas security concerns the Western states with better security, the Middle East, the security view, Western interest in global the station of Arabia, Arabia, Israeli conflict, French Canadian regional entity, the strong security, the Middle East refocus the West also makers security running around with our two military capabilities were not just serving to us interest off that 100% to real certain aspects of security at the same time and others. And the idea of ISIS getting and doing damage with dirty bombs is scientifically impossible, politically inaccurate, and absolutely constructive. We're running 15. What is that dirty bombs can be pushing the such necessary? There are hundreds of stolen American materials that there's never been detonated dirty bomb in history, saying it's just a matter of time where ISIS gets material just doggled together. There are decades to develop a nuclear program and never build a bomb. The dirty bomb will never kill many people. There is impossible physical and heavy metal power in the form of nuclear systems over miles. The high cost material, the return investment for parachutes would be for it. Science requesting that nuclear threat. These itself articles hearing the public battery bomb benefits your agendas. Your plan allows developed Western countries to possess nuclear weapons and energy while mitigating at least a perfect example of Western's desire for control over the rest of the world. At first 12. Iran is really necessary to leave it. The Middle East dominates Iran's nuclear program is already hegemony. The Middle East, but the circulation remains 80% of the military reserves, which controls the center of key lever in the global economy. This region is approaching global trade for the global military strategic pivot and negotiations are linked to advancing imperialist interests in the West is to limit the nuclear capabilities of other nations further. For Angel's mindset where only the West is capable of possessing nuclear energy. Gus 06. The amount of reaction to the Western nuclear program in the is able to trace most nuclear capability for all these structurally the third world is discounted. The more way legitimate U.S. military program sources to supply the weather. The U.S. war players dominating the sort of stabilizing nuclear front in Western joining the sports to the one firms binary opposition therapy oriented nature. The image of the West be irrational and they are uncultivated. Threats are constructing their security is supposed to realize a self-fulfilling prophecy that next to understanding the structural causes behind threats and makes them impossible. Back in 91. Attention for psychological hallucination, your method by enemies real. The Russians intend to make it to us harm. This is limited defense grapple. The critical distinction informs the entire subject of threat really generated by the enemy. This own contribution to the threat. From the social success of proactive actions, these like the enemy and its resolution of responsibility. The enemy is real, but we have not learned to identify our own role in creating that enemy. We've never seen an enemy's motives with objectivity and security is an ontological condition based on the desire to control managed states of being. This makes endless loss inevitable, destroys by the life or except. Insecurities flow over the better boundaries and they only can form the realistic discourse of war and the evaluation of unconscious data, how best we maintain to drive around cultural certainty. Let's see questioning facts of the perfectly closest and very truth being in epistemology, monitoring the ontology box, we can do result awareness, collision thoughts for needs being in insecurities, questioning humans have no sense how their value as objects and controls internally to the extinction because you only replicate your own scenario and obviously because no life means no impact to death. And the alternatives, the abstract representations is to reject the abstract representations as a critical intellectual labor that makes imagination of a more peaceful future possible. The police 08. The more future bombing of the city, these military machines can spend one anything they keep concepts of categories used to saying just right things that support that security officials for movie, security which will conceal every rationality systems will be only bad systems and knowledge to escape infection, perhaps to shoot election security altogether the content, perhaps to mythical security of political term constitutes or countries of law saying to the term missing to that this whole needs to be filled with a new mixture of revision security you classify for an alternative language the negative insignificant positive setting the past to square itself so legacy security products will allow us to manipulate the efforts of the process securitization of political issues and that's the role of balance to critically interrogate the biased security representation as a prerequisite to evaluating the consequences of plans they don't enjoy the case one representation must receive policies so the room was filled with people profit or two Russians members spreading the movie of the world on launching a small team representation made perfectly the actual action making place actors directly beyond so its actors representation do not reproduce actors that could be repressed the certainty stress as well as ability or representation becomes concerned on understanding specific future conceptual knowledge and assessing whether frames are black or perception next to the rhetorical important two the other illusory plans to actually get past its order to reason about affirmative only are critical interrogations any real world effect case. First, the overview. 1. Any defense we win in any scenario supercharged the link to security data. There are reasons why they absolutely constructing a false threat. 2. Their authors are incredibly biased and shouldn't be trusted. Among them include an unqualified reporter trying to use by fabricating threats. I see 15 evidence interpolating and a 21-year-old member of the military, the U.S. Army, the that's Andrew Krepenovich, and the Krepenovich 13 article, another internal link. Next on the left. Israel would strike multiple wars. 15. Israel was going to strike around two facilities and that's all I thought it was so strong serious loan and programs to mother discovery from any more than because operational facilities in Israel striking around two facilities will only increase the likelihood of bombers being attacks also the Iranian regime reasonable from the Israelis also to further blow Europe and Asia and the Middle Eastern war will escalate ability of 7. Observers will be concerned about our conflict regional process series far more accurate than the Middle Eastern leaders just lots of hours unlikely to world leaders from interested in self-preservation committing for risky and which will prevent the stability of our rather than connecting power. There's no person committed forces which are not directly involved in cover they are next. Wrong attacking one day with 15 year October. Similarly, are stupid scenarios. Persons who are wanting attack from all sorts of eventually design Russian principle with the identities confidence trying to show periodic forces as well as actual anxiety. But to ceasefire runners very often make diplomatic and trigger principle Israel and the United States during the Iraq war and cut the card there next to the other view. He's wanting to send this practical argument, so we stop through the cave, but no, the counter is not some sort of vague social movement. It's just a different way of looking at government policy. Can it be achievable? It's a question of how you orient yourself to where other countries in the wholesale treaties you can't just construct one is super aggressive, but we democratic security diplomacy.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's start on the theory argument. Why does banning nuclear power in countries that don't have it yet create an conditionality?
So it relies on analytic claims that they might be built, meaning that you can just kick out advantages to
So
say,
what about,
well, no, it won't actually be built, so that.
why would the 1AR be able to deny a claim that they made in the 1AC? So, for instance, if the AF in the 1AC made a claim that says nuclear power or nuclear power results in prolif, can the 1AR make a new argument that says nuclear power actually doesn't result in prolif?
No, you can just say we're not building nuclear reactors. You haven't provided like.
We read a card that says they will. How can the 1AR shift our argument?
You want to easily shift the argument, kick the card. There's no uniqueness.
I don't understand why that would be possible.
It's possible. You can kick the argument.
How can the 1AR deny a claim they made themselves in the 1AC?
You can easily deny the claim. The claim I made is false. Kick the card. Move on.
Alright, whatever.
You have not built a nuclear reactor. There's no feasible reason why the nuclear reactor would be built. It would be too
We
expensive.
have read a card that says reactor's going to be built.
Yes,
So
you can argue against things in debate.
How
Alex,
can
yes.
lie about something that they said already?
You don't have to lie about it. You can just double back on it. There are reasons why our uniqueness evidence isn't true.
Alright, let's talk about the first link to security. Why is our understanding of Russia racist?
So you understand Russia is just trying to crowd out some sort of like Daic US military that's like, oh, the US is here, we're super nice, but those evil Russians just want to crowd us out and get some sort of imperialist control of the Middle East, because that's all they ever want, right? All they ever want is expansionism. The Jaeger 2K card is pretty good here. It says you will always construct Russia as an opposite binary to like the Western.
This is about our understanding of Russia war, Chechnya, and the Cold War. How does this apply to something about the Middle East?
You know, this is an analysis of how foreign policy interacts using examples of the Cold War and the foreign agenda.
Let's talk about the next link says that we construct the Middle East as something necessary to justify violent intervention.
Yes.
What about so how have we constructed the Middle East as key to U.S. interests? So
a few things.
What about our arguments that are saying things like ISIS is bad, that we should prevent threats to the Middle East?
Yeah. Okay.
Why do we understand Middle East in terms of America?
So there's a few things there. So the first is the Surah 16 card you read that literally refers to Middle Eastern countries as places that need to be dominated by U.S. diplomacy. Otherwise, they're just going to go to war with each other because they're super violent and nothing can check that. The Rager, Stiller, and 12 card also makes the baseless claim that Israel is just lying in wait to attack Iran, when obviously we've read cards from that their foreign policy is not about that whatsoever. Additionally, the rest of the cards from the security gate indicate
let's talk about the alt. What comes after we withdraw from security?
It means we just take a different look at policy. We would say that there's no longer any policy alternative to want to go and like stabilize
so
other
the
nations.
policy of the attacks in the world is the alt.
No, I'm not going to defend it.
So what happens?
I will say I can solve the AF. I'm not defending it.
What happens after we change our individual orientation towards violence? What does that do to reverse existing nuclear reactors or change violence?
It means it would just change policy in the future. Like, it's just a different way in which we address policy.
Sorry. 154 left.
Need a flash news stuff.
Yeah. So the order is theory, then relations, prolif, critique.
Theory, relations, prolif, critique.
Yes, I sent it. Everyone ready? Counter-termination, the act must specify government or group of governments that either already have nuclear power or have a formalized agreement in place to build nuclear power plants. Self-ground ensures their limitation on the absence debate about whether true new nuclear deal is. They said that the standards over limiting forcing the act of only banning countries that exist have nuclear reactors now. Kills core after the topic and advantages about prolif and new states and unsafe reactors that are being constructed are core advantage on this topic. And limit checks their offense. We have to be based in debates about nuclear power, which ensures graph done. New states give the neck more nuances that links to how new reactors are key to generating power. Countries that are declining now how the necessary economy that also expands research, return, and education. Often ensures the neck has to do a greater variety of research within the country rather than just generic links to every single app. They don't. Their term doesn't solve app conditionality. They have obviously can't deny the fact that they make the money see and kick out of it. Obviously, that means they would have no advantage and ensures that they can't win any offense debate. Also, they can't that their offense doesn't solve because that would mean the app read the impact defense against their attacks of the one argument which means they don't solve and voter for education, which outweighs fairness because of fundamental purpose debate. It's the only thing we take away from fairness is esoteric and remains in debate. Now on the case. All our authors are good, well and good. They're from some of them are based in the military, but they're from security studies and basically our literature forces to prove why our warrants are wrong, not our authors. And they say Israel doesn't try, but take them at the word. They're afraid of nuclear arms race. Sanctions 16. Israel has making signs of nuclear arms race and no reason to nuclear arms race. Israeli defense minister warned the sides of nuclear nation will make the countries nuclear arms race. Not that country there will the Reverend Akbar nuclear arms race for close modern military. Like countries entire neighbors, but the hard Arab neighbors, and they say no escalation. This doesn't assume this evidence doesn't assume short flights between countries. They means that they retaliate even because they can't pinpoint the exact place. Also causes miscalculation. New states that proliferate don't have the kinetic control systems necessary to verify deterrence that the U.S. itself required decades to build the nuclear protocols necessary, and the U.S. diplomacy is key to ensure Israel peace and preserve peace treaties between Jordan and Israel as well as Egypt and Israel. Means that it's key to ensure prevent granting attacks now. Prolif entirely conceded. They conceded that ISIS can acquire their generic terrorism defense doesn't assume ISIS. One is expertise. They have recruited people about the academic knowledge necessary to crack bombs. Two is their evidence to the funding to ISIS has massive amounts of money generated from oil fields they can use to fund and use by nuclear weapons doesn't apply and that costs the capital to nuclear war. That's our evidence and extent of right evidence. They are the big social movements that drive people further and bring out they don't present it for realistic alternative. They say they're not a big social movement. Obviously, withdrawing from security, imagining a better future is not even alternative. Now on the critique itself. No link to Russia. We don't construct them as racially distinct from us about their security incentives and desire to gain objective. The reason they are trying to build military base in the Middle East, which proves our argument. And a second framework, the communities of the Middle East should not be prohibited nuclear power production. That's key to engagement, fairness, and anything else. Which one is the often shape debate on how to places. 3. Share choice, judging, choose reason. No that ensures some to be by allowed the average child less one advantage must be tried then. Child is going to every region since we have to find every advantage right 20 C4. Strategic deploying security discourse over constitutional identity. The concept of the Middle East built in 2K. The Middle East divine security is coming out of the South part of security, public safety security is a matter of policies, the way of seeing themselves trying to security, maybe some about security, which have cooperative efforts, and threats to a strong incentives against inflation, rapid all that. Social security, absolute currently started with mission for inflation, why the first security was somebody expectation, rationality, objective, look around here, more like transparent, social security, then is revealed for not rationality, application, people are for security analysis, and exchange now waste their nebulous impact, one personality, human incentive for humanity is never forever, death is universal values of delight is subjective and can improve in the future, 2 future generation kills potentially hundreds of billion people in the future that could exist, and 1% risk of extinction is sufficient. Way and 7 no risk of endless war. Grade 7 the American system was designed for Germany, exactly Vietnam, Iraq, Ukraine, war in the war is useful and that policy which I prevent the option by legal research performance security is not implemented. You should use it for making with with little merit, and all doesn't solve the case. Realism is inevitable since states don't know each other's intention. Individual orientation for violence doesn't deny that states desire to protect themselves, and permanently with their death and prescribed for permanently the act in all other instances, and no root cause of war, for. There may be infinite set of factors motivating aggression, not existing factors of war, when it's circumstances, controlling war, given difficulty overcoming social problems, approach war, depending on the solution might be 2 months to war.
Yeah, 438.
I'm gonna get one.
is going to be the security K, the AC. Right? So I guess, no, not really. I guess in theory, security K means. Is everybody ready? Start in theory, you have not gone through now yet. Means it is no discussion for me. So okay, go to the security K. Overview. First of all, you won't continue fiat as a loser. You do not continue. This means all of your distinction offense goes away. Because we not with the actual post fiat representation to the case against the representation to the K. Just a question of how we construct results toward policy. Next, you are conceding reading links to win any risk to be firm. But when there's any reason why you're securitizing, there's a reason why you vote negative why your threats are real to go. I'll be live my life. First, we this framework with the top. This is how you do defend the nuclear. You ought to be prohibited, but ought not to be prohibited. But yes, I suspect the alternative best so we can lose so many evidence. We given that you should not intervene in the least that we should allow to think our own supposed to be right. Nuclear energy means that instance of state imperialism now. You say that you really spoke to a card. You say that there's some sort of a bigger card literally just says that cooperation is good. He explains yes, we agree to that is, but the way in which you do is not cooperation is hegemony. That is the conceded effort as well. It is you are only trying to decrease nuclear power and then at least being sworn to have complete and total control is the way in which the US wants to position itself as the only country with nuclear weapons, the only country with the largest technology of nuclear power, while other countries live completely disempowered. We're not cooperating, we're only presiding for the completely next to the threats we like about the European Nazi argument, but few reasons why that's wrong. First, all the epistemology index conceded. Take this out and no, your authors are completely ridiculous and probably super biased. It is literally from the US military. He said we're for the warranty cards of the epistemology index. At this point, you've never even extended any warranty cards of the AC. You just literally extend the tag card. No, the analysis piece point is yes, the epistemology definitely affects the way in which they provide their studies or methodology. The person hired by the US military is not going to say that the Middle East is no threat to the US whatsoever, and the reporter trying to sensationalize the New York Times sell papers is not going to report on something that is completely banal. Next, you say next we see the purpose of evidence, the root cause of the cycle not discrete by the self-fulfilling prophecy. Securitization means we put a single risk of a limb to the security critique. It is increased by the impacts of the affirmative are always perpetually created and recreated because you always securitize threats and create them before they can even have time to demilitarize or not come up at all. The immaculate what evidence is really good here. You shouldn't concede it. This isn't recreate your impacts infinitely outweighs your impacts because it also destroys valuable life. We only see people's ontologized bodies that can be used as any ontologized bodies can be used as just pure objects, not as actual human beings at waste because any risk of destruction of valuable life makes definitely that makes definitely an impact. So extinction, there's no risk, no risk by extinction against the offense. The remaining 15 cards per good here, you are not responding to it. Is the terminal defects, the affirmative, it's worse. ISIS will literally never get a dirty bond. Your only analysis is better funding now. They've hired experts, but you're conceding the warranty card that it is scientifically impossible to construct a dirty bomb or a nuclear weapon to extract from it with the terrible nuclear waste they're able to extract from nuclear plants is literally too heavy to be combustible and spread out over miles. It would literally just make a small explosion and then just fall there on the ground. Literally has no impact to nuclear weapons right there. Just you say there's no endless war. That's not the argument we're going for. We're not saying some sort of necessary root cause of war. We're saying that when you securitize other people, you make that more inevitable because you always try and preemptively strike them where you will build up aggressive policy towards them. Now the affirms are not being flowing through. You say realism is inevitable. You put that as fatalist. You simply empirically disproven. I think you and nuclear cooperate together. So you simply you have not proven the all does not solve whatsoever. You so to the equals way up. You say permutation will probably all the elixirs disaster the permutation. It's also another reason why the US is trying to co-opt new security, co-opt the alternative to the K to just enforce their own security policy. You cannot sever yourself from the representation of the YNC, so you cannot adopt a alternative that is just a comment or a criticism of your representations. That's just another link to the K. You say permanent all other instances. This point is once again the representations outweigh this. You will always make the excuse that you can be securitized in every other instance except for this one. That this is the only instance where security war literally never increases out. Your offers are literally just sensationalized war from the U.S. military. It's very clear. You are losing defense on the affirmative, meaning it shows that your threats are just constructed and not real. You're losing tons of links to decay. You
154 left. An overview that you can follow on the case. Prolif, relations, critique.
Spreading ourselves thin over multiple racial shirts that decrease in flash out. Also, we tend to can't access all other link arguments that are about our first advantage. Now, the relative advantage, there are only defenses involved, but because there are I can't believe they dropped this on results of the future means death is irreversible. They have no explanation of why their link arguments turn the case. They have conceded our grace evidence. There's no endless war because democratic checks prevent states from
cycles over and over again. These are impacts is extremely nebulous, and they can't see democratic checks, which ensure there are states on last all the time. Last argument we're going for is that the threats are real. And no link, and they have no impact. Extinction outweighs any risk of value to life, which wasn't answered in the 2-0.
Wait, so